We hear about the amount of painkillers some of these people were on, and
Yeah.
how cannabis has been able to help them alleviate and wean off of those items. Really seeing the impact it's had on people's lives had my curiosity very high, tied into the industry.
Welcome to Healing Hearts, a podcast created by the Healing Center. Here, we explore passionate healing stories, educate on the power of cannabis, and so much more.
And we are back from the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. I'm Chris Cohan from the Healing Center. We are continuing our Grower Processor series, and I am joined by Brandon and Jen from Calypso. Brandon is the sales director, and Jen is the client services manager. So welcome to the program, guys.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem. Thanks for coming on and giving us some of your time today from up in beautiful Erie, PA, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we were talking a little weather. Erie can be a little bit interesting on your weather up there, huh? From day to day and moment to moment.
It keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I've been up on that lake many times where you just got to haul your butt back off of it in a hurry. A little known piece of trivia: Lake Erie has the most sunken vessels of any body of water. Did you know that?
I hadn't heard that before. Yes.
Yeah, so lots of them, and that's because storms blow up very quickly. But again, thanks for coming on today. We're happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about how Calypso got started.
Sure, absolutely. So our founder, Pat Black, had a friend that had a medical condition that they wanted to seek some alternative ways to try to treat that condition. And at the time, medical marijuana was not an option in Pennsylvania. So that individual traveled outside of the state and saw some really positive success for his condition by trying medical marijuana out and using that as part of his regimen. That really kind of got the gears turning in Mr. Black's head. And from there is where Calypso, in theory, was kind of born. They went ahead and applied for a phase 1 grower processor license and unfortunately did not receive it. Went back to the drawing board and very fortunate to be awarded a phase 2 grower processor. And then from there, we've just been going 100 miles an hour. We have a brand new build facility up here in beautiful Erie. And everything is brand new from the ground up. So we didn't have to retrofit anything or try to outfit an existing building. So it really gave us the opportunity to make sure we had a state-of-the-art, efficient building and equipment with everything. And we think that really shines through in everything we do each day here.
Well, there's no doubt. I can speak to building from ground up, since all three of our dispensaries were built from ground up. We know that can be very challenging, but at the same time, you get what you want, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's really made a big difference with a lot of our processes and everyday activities that we have here.
Yeah, I speak to that with dispensaries as well as grower processors. When you can make them yourself the way that you want them to be, then to me the process at the dispensary runs smoother, and I'm betting from the grower processor end the products go smoother and come out better.
It does. And another thing that we have in common with the Healing Center is that, we are a purely based PA independent company. So,
Yes.
This is our first entry into the market. So, we've been working as we learn and just going through everything. And, our partnership with you guys have been tremendous. And Chris, you and I actually, you're one of the first individuals I spoke with,
Right.
Even before we were into our new facility. And, from there, just really had a strong connection with you guys and just really appreciate and love what you're doing out there.
Well, we appreciate that, and there's no doubt we have a special place in our heart for all of us PA born and breeders. So there's no question, and it's it's such a process that everybody doesn't really understand. I mean, the multi-state operators, kind of becomes old hat for them. But when you're doing something like this for the first time yourself and you create a company, it is challenging, but so rewarding, when you start to get to the point where you're humming. And I feel like you guys are just like us. So, that's very, very exciting. So tell me, guys, how did you end up in this wonderful world of cannabis?
Jen, you want to go ahead and...
I can start with this one. So I was about 25 years in the food and beverage industry, and my last job, I was a territory sales manager. I was traveling that day, and I was about an hour and a half away from home, traveling through the mountains, and it had just started snowing. and a gentleman ended up going a little bit too fast for conditions, lost control of his truck, and ended up hitting me practically head on about 60 miles an hour.
Wow.
Long story short, I ended up suffering from a pretty traumatic brain injury. And for 2 years, the doctors that I was sent to, they put me on about 20 different types of medication. I had major side effects from all of them. At that point, that's when I started taking a more natural approach with breathing techniques and chiropractic massage care. I went to the job fair for Calypso just to try and get more information. And as soon as I went to the job fair, I found out I went down that rabbit hole and I never surfaced again.
I was hoping,
Wow.
yeah, I was hoping you were going to tell me a story that Mr. Black bumped into you and then he gave you a job. No, well, that is very, very traumatizing, I'm sure. And,
yeah, 2 years I went without sleeping. And once I became a medical marijuana patient, I started sleeping through the night. And when you have a brain injury, when you suffer from chronic pain, if you're not sleeping, that's when you're actually recovering.
Yeah.
It's been a hurdle to come over, but where I am now, I mean, I'm working a full-time job. I'm a mom. I'm a hockey mom.
yeah.
We're constantly busy. So, I'm able to live my life again. Is it the cure? No, but my quality of life has gone through, exceeded tenfold.
Well, that's what it's all about. And I can speak a little bit to that because my wife had a bad brain injury too, which was, the reason she started using cannabis as well, or one of the main reasons. So I understand that an awful lot, unfortunately, seeing her go through, the things that she went through. And I'm sure yours was even far, far worse. So we're happy to see you doing so well. Yes, doing so well and getting some sleep nowadays, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, all right, Brandon, you're up.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, mine is not quite as dramatic as Miss Jennifer's.
I hate to have you follow that, but yeah.
I know, right? I should have gone first. What was I thinking on that? But for me, I followed the industry, from its infancy out in California and Colorado, and just educating myself and looking more into the market and really the medicinal benefits and the improvement it's made in people's lives. When you hear about, the amount of painkillers some of these people were on, and how cannabis has been able to help them alleviate and wean off of those items. Really seeing the impact it's had on people's lives had my curiosity very high, tied into the industry. And then when we found out we were actually going to be having a grower processor right here in Erie, I was beyond excited and really knew I wanted to do whatever I could to get myself in front of these people to hopefully be able to join this company. And fortunately, everything worked out really well, and it's been a wild, fun ride. And the feedback we get to hear from the patients every day is really what keeps you grounded and focused on the reasons why we're all in this business. And we've great relationships with the dispensaries and the patients, and it's very blessed to be in the position we're in right now.
No doubt, we all are, and it's such an exciting industry. We call it the dog years industry because everything goes so fast. It's like we can do something one day and we can't do it the next, and we can't do it and now we can do it, and we all have to keep track of all that, which is always part of the challenge of being compliant in this industry. Tell me, guys, about some of your products. Tell me about some of your favorite products at Calypso, your go-tos.
I can start with this one. So my two favorite products are Calypso Kush flower.
Right.
When I'm looking, so usually I'll use a tincture at night to help me sleep, but ultimately you'll end up building a little bit of a tolerance to it, so I don't get the same effect. So what I do is I flip-flop between the Calypso Kush and tincture, and a high-strength tincture.
Mm-hmm.
But the Calypso Kush, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
When I use that right before bed,
that's the one.
no questions. I sleep fantastic. And then my second favorite would be our Portlandia, either CO2 or LLR in cart form. Absolutely love it. It's perfect for after a long work day. If I just need my brain to calm down a little bit, it doesn't make me sedated. It just helps calm me while still being able to do all my functions that I want to complete.
Oh, okay.
And it tastes great too.
I can comment on that. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my side, I'm kind of all over the board with it. Something that's kind of unique with the way that we classify our products is that we base them off of the lab results and the terpenes. We understand the importance of the terpenes and the impact that has on the individual. So we classify our products into the chill, cruise, and charge. So really depending on the occasion and what we're looking to get out of, my day is going to depend on what product I go with. But the White Widow, you can never go wrong with that. It's a classic landrace strain. It really gets myself into a nice position where I'm focused and relaxed and can get a lot done. So I tend to lean towards that. The Portlandia as well is also always the top of my list.
Oh, well, you guys have any plans for a new introduction of products? Anything you haven't done that you're thinking about doing or are going to do?
We've got a couple exciting things we're in the middle of working on right now. One of our unique lines is our flavored CO2 cart line. So that's the only product we have that's not 100% medical marijuana into it. We had approval from the Department of Health to add food-grade terpenes, and that helps give that familiar taste to some products. So homage to Erie, we have our Commodore Berry, which is after Commodore Perry, and that's a blueberry-flavored cart that we have. We have a couple of new flavors with chocolate raspberry that just came out, and then also a sweet backwoods, which really has a nice kind of earthy but caramel type taste to it, which is really exciting. And then we've got some new flower strains that'll be coming into the market here very soon that we're excited to launch.
That's excellent. How big is the bank? How big is the bank of strains?
Right now we're at about 11 strains, and then we have plans where we'll be launching at least double that coming up. We were also approved for an expansion, so we're right now actually doubling our cultivation size on our grounds with it. Excellent. So our projected date to be completed is February, and we're excited for that just to be able to keep the medicine coming.
No doubt. We all need it right now. It's, the pandemic has created challenges at the supply end because I've heard everything from we can't get enough trimmers to we had to slow our expansion a lot because of our personnel, and we all know that the patient level's gone up and the supply's having a hard time keeping up. So we're happy to hear that you guys got that going on, and we'll be excited for it to finish up there in February and buy a whole bunch more from you.
Yeah, and we're excited to bring more jobs to the area. We're going to be able to have life-sustaining wages, and we're going to be able to close to double our current employee count. So anytime you can do that and make that positive impact in the community, it's always something to be proud of.
No doubt, and we're always very thankful because you guys always participate with us. As you know, we're very big on our community organizations that we support and sponsor and donate to. So virtually every sale we do has some sort of a tie into it, and you guys are very, very very, very giving in those areas on product give back to the patients so that we can help support those organizations. So thank you very much for that. We do appreciate that.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, as do our patients all. Thank you for that as well. Okay, well, I guess I think I only have one more question for you guys today. It's always our favorite question. It's, you have all those strains that you guys do, and I'm going to ask you, if you were one of those strains, which one would you be? And then tell us why you would be that strain.
So I think I would be our sour diesel. And I think that is because I'll take you by surprise. Historically, sour diesel is a sativa. He can attest to this. You look at me and you think I'm one person, and then you're like, whoa, wow, she's a little out there, huh? But yeah, our sour diesel, historically, you would think that it's going to be a sativa. You're going to get sativa type of effects. That's what we thought when we were going to market also. Ultimately, we got our lab results right before we were going to market, and we saw that it had high amounts of myrcene in it. So the effect is really the opposite of what you were going to see. So if you go onto a site like Leafly, you'll see our top 3 terpenes are the same exact as each other. Ours are just flip-flopped. So through, hybridization over the years or, crossbreeding, it's just created a little bit of a different product. And honestly, patients love it.
Well, we just recently had that conversation on Indica Sativa. And, my belief has always been they're all hybrids. So everything's a hybrid of some kind. It just leans one way or another. And typically, like we'll see strains come from one grower that's an indica, and then the same strain come from another grower, it's a sativa. So, we have seen
and
that.
our sour diesel, I mean, it's a sativa. You look at it, the way it grows, the foliage on it, the way the buds form. I mean, it's clearly a sativa plant, and we're never saying that that's not the case with it. We're just saying that the effects are going to be more in our chill line, which is why we classify it that way. And that's just trying to make it easier on the patients with having those three categories. And that's one of the biggest takeaways to get, I think, with Calypso, that when you see that icon of which category it falls in with chill, cruise, or charge, that should be the desired effects or from that product.
Well, that's the thing. And there are so many patients that, one, just because something, brings this person up doesn't mean it's going to bring you up. And the same thing goes for sedating you or relaxing you. So that's that experimentation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But, well, guys, we can't thank you enough for spending some time with us today and telling us about everything that's going on up at Calypso. We are always excited to have you guys on our shelves and look forward to your expansion and everything that you have that's coming forward. So thanks again for taking some time out of your days, both Brandon and Jen, and we really appreciate you giving it to us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris, and your team. We're big fans of you guys, and I love the things you guys are doing out there. Thanks for having us.
Well,
Thank you.
Thanks again. And we'll be back from the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Healing Hearts podcast, recorded at the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. For more info, visit thehealingcenterusa.com. Happy healing!